Greetings, families. Welcome back once again. I hope you are well. I hope your day is good. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. This is just a short news from Burkina Faso. It's about corruption. It's about the ex-French president who has taken a lot of money from late President Gaddafi to sponsor his election and many more. Now he's about to be jailed. Congratulations to France for exposing this or bringing this to public, because we know some countries, they will cover it up. They will not bring it out, not alone sending their president or ex-president or ex-minister to jail. No, there are a lot of war criminals in this world walking free. So I will congratulate France for doing that, especially when it comes to Africa. Nobody cares, but this one, they care. Families, please listen to this short news. I'll be back.
Up with today's publications. In these publications, then, the conviction of former French President Nicolas Sarkozy in the case of the financing of his 2007 presidential campaign. Also, the announcement of 100 cases of corruption and others by the steering committee of the CORAG Commission for the Regulation of Malfunctions in just 9 months of operation. The review is prepared by Bienvenue Tensa.
In a statement read yesterday on national television, CORAG made revelations that sent chills down the spines of many viewers. Revelations concerning dysfunctions in the public administration, according to Sivoya. The statement, read by Captain Farouk Azaria Sorgo, spokesperson for CORAG, points to several cases of mismanagement involving various state entities and implicating both public and private agents. Hundreds of cases of corruption, forgery and use of forgeries, embezzlement of public property and more are being reported today in Faso. This is the result of 9 months of in-depth investigation covering the period from December 2024 to August 2025, as noted by the newspaper Le Pays. Nicola Sarkozy found guilty of criminal association. The newspaper Le Pays notes that it was only yesterday that the former French president learned his fate. In the case concerning suspicions of financing his 2007 presidential campaign by the late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. According to this newspaper, the Paris Criminal Court sentenced Nicolas Sarkozy to 5 years in prison with a deferred committal order at the end of a judicial marathon that lasted several months. On October 13th, Sarkozy will have to appear before the judges, who will inform him of his incarceration date, according to information published today in Le Faso. Except in cases of force majeure affecting the country, Sarkozy will go to prison. The French judiciary has shown that it was not swayed by the personality of the accused. But well before that, as this daily newspaper reminds us, the former occupant of the Élysée had been definitively sentenced in 2024 to 3 years in prison, including 1 year to be served in the so-called wiretapping case. After 10 years of legal proceedings, he was required to wear an electronic bracelet. This remains an unprecedented event in the country for a former president of the French Republic.
Quran Communiqué number 2, an important announcement. As the war against terrorism in all its forms intensifies, along with the fight against corruption and financial misconduct, and despite the increased development efforts through various reforms and presidential initiatives, we unfortunately observe the persistence of certain practices within the public administration. Following the serious revelations brought to public attention on November 27, 2024, by the Coral regarding the privatization of Sokoji, the Comrade President of Faso, Head of State, Captain Ibrahim Traore, has instructed all institutions to relentlessly pursue investigations into any acts and reports that harm the proper functioning of the public administration and the legitimate interests of citizens. Thus, in accordance with its missions and prerogatives, the Coral has referred the matter to the Orientation Council of the Commission for the Regulation of Malfunction on cases of dysfunction involving entities and individuals or legal persons so that they can conduct thorough investigations. Thus, in the period from December 2024 to August 2025, that is, within 9 months, following anonymous reports and self-referral, the members of the CRD Steering Committee investigated around 100 registered cases, which to this day have met with varying outcomes. The minutes of the various working sessions of the committee, of the CRD Steering Committee, reveal several reprehensible cases, the most illustrative of which are cases of corruption and related acts, requests for redress of injustice, abuse of power, and wrongful dismissals. cases of forgery and use of forged documents, specifically the falsification of documents, administrative acts, and judicial acts. Cases of embezzlement of public property or theft of equipment, as well as many other bad practices within the public administration. With regard to corruption and related acts, the CRD Steering Committee has recorded about 20 cases involving reports of suspicious practices in the courts and attempted passive corruption involving magistrates, bailiffs, customs officers, healthcare workers, land agents, and so on. Among these cases, we can mention, among others, serious acts of corruption in the hygiene department of Ouagadougou, threats and illicit enrichment, embezzlement and malpractice in the municipality of Zabré, highlighting the misappropriation of funds intended for public works and collections from the population. Suspicions of corruption against a deputy prosecutor for refusing to sign a summons in a case involving aggravated theft, forgery and use of forged public documents, extortion, criminal conspiracy, and money laundering, which pits him against former ministers of the economy. Complaints against municipal police officers in Garango, suspected of attempted fraud, intimidation, impersonation of titles, forgery and use of forged public documents and associations of criminals. Acts of corruption and related offenses, forgery and use of forged documents, and overbilling of public treasury receipts at the Departmental Water Service in Kouvri. Cases of corruption and malpractice that have gone unaddressed in court, for example, a complaint for a subtle and insidious embezzlement of public property, specifically a plot of land belonging to a local authority, filed in court since 2021 against a lawyer, whose discriminatory treatment by the justice system raises suspicions of serious dysfunction. Cases of corruption and related offenses involving the decentralized services of Traore, the leaders of Copec Galore, the provisional administrator of the Excellence Afrique firm, the One-Stop Land Service, and the management of Sokojil. Victims and witnesses were heard during the review of these citizens' petitions. Regarding suspicions about the authenticity of diplomas, forgery and use of forgeries, and falsifications that led to recruitments or promotions in the civil service, a set of 6,000 diplomas belonging to public employees was analyzed. These employees come from organizations such as the Presidency of Faso, the ministries responsible for health, security, agriculture, economy and finance, territorial administration and mobility, primary, secondary, and higher education, environment, and digital transition, humanitarian action, justice, and other independent public institutions. The completion of the review of this case has made it possible to identify dishonest employees. Employees whose diplomas were found to be inauthentic have recently been dismissed and will have to face justice. This large-scale operation is ongoing and will be intensified. However, a reduction in sanctions could be applied to anyone in one of these situations, who voluntarily reports themselves to the relevant authorities as soon as possible. With regard to requests for redress of injustice, abuse of power, and wrongful dismissals, collective and individual complaints about irregular recruitment, users disillusioned by public or private agents or international organizations and institutions, and clear intentions to deny rights to state employees, slanderous accusations have been received by the CLD Steering Committee. Under this section, a case of wrongful career suspension at the Ouagadougou City Hall was noted. There were also reports of malpractice at the Konki Hipala police station involving cases of forgery of public documents, theft and complicity in embezzlement related to police fine receipts, as well as the organization of escapes for detainees in custody. Cases of abuse of power, refusal to draft official reports, and favoritism were observed in the accident section of the Ouagadougou police station. Malpractice and breaches of ethical rules were also reported within the Ouagadougou High Court. Incidents of tampering and refusal to publish the results of a recruitment test at the Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce and Industry were also noted. Abuse of rights and authority against taxpayers. Abuse of power towards Sokoji's clients. As for the embezzlement of public property or theft of equipment and other malpractice in public administration, these range from the misappropriation of pharmaceutical kits and hospitalization equipment in health centers to sexual harassment in our administrations and other professional misconducts that go unpunished by the Axis. The most emblematic cases include the diversion of food supplies intended for the displaced people at the Goudebo camp in Dori to the catering service of the Regional Hospital Center of Dori, thus revealing collusion between staff of the Dori Regional Hospital Center, the supplier of the hospital's restaurant, and agents of the World Food Programme. Cases of arbitrary reassignment as punishment for whistleblowing, embezzlement of food supplies, and the obstruction of educational activities by those responsible for education in the Sahel region. Failure to comply with the specifications for the Ouagadougou Development Zone, and the deliberate obstruction of sanitation facilities in CP15 Ouagadougou District. One might suspect a malfunction within the municipal administration in the handling of this case. As usual, the handling of this case follows a very rigorous methodology. Administrative and judicial sanctions will be applied accordingly at the end of the process. In light of these facts, which undoubtedly demonstrate the extent of the aforementioned bad practices, we invite all Burkinabe citizens, whether public or private sector workers, to report any form of dysfunction to the appropriate authorities or by calling the National Call Center at 199. These incidents, which are far from isolated, seriously tarnish the reputation and respectability of our administrations. They are detrimental to the services provided to the population, who are already suffering from the impact of terrorism disguised in various forms. The virtuous society we dream of for ourselves and our children should be characterized by integrity, honesty, and prudence. Solidarity, responsibility, respect for institutions, and love of the homeland, as advocated by Comrade President of Faso, Head of State, Captain Ibrahim Traore. Corade invites citizens to remain vigilant and to thwart any manipulations that may arise from this ongoing fight against corruption and bad practices, especially from individuals who will lose their privileges or potential advantages in the handling of these cases, or who may be affected in one way or another. Together, let us build a Burkinabe society that is dignified, upright, just, prosperous, and sovereign. The homeland or death.
Thank you so much for listening and watching. There's nothing to watch, but you have listened to it. I want to share this one with you. For the corruption about Burkina Faso, we know last year or early this year, a lot of them has been arrested. The video, once again, is on the channel. Some has faced jail, some are still going to court. Why they have taken money, the so-called humanitarian workers that are taking money and others, everything. I mean, most of them are on the channel. So they are still fighting to get rid of them or to arrest them and let them pay for what they have done. And once again, congratulations to the government of France for making this public for us to know. Because for me, I knew this long time ago. And I wonder, I said that already, some government has kept quiet. Italy, Berlusconi, ex-President Berlusconi, what about him? What are they doing about him? Because he has also taken a lot of money from late President Gaddafi, that they team up to get rid of him. What about him? What are they doing about him as well? I can't wait to hear what they are doing. Maybe they will learn from France and do something about him. The presidents of Africa, please learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistake. They come as friends, but not all of them are friends. Your people are suffering and you'll be giving money to so-called developed countries. Please stop it. Stop saving in outside. Use the money to develop your country. Please stop it. Because many a times, all your properties you bought or you buy for your families, your girlfriends, boyfriend, whatsoever, they will take it from you. They will use ICC to take it from you. Why not do it in your country? Why not do it in your country? Why doing it outside? Why not building factories to create jobs for your people? The people that when it's election time, because you love democracy, you'll be shouting for them to vote for you. Create work for them. Build schools, hospitals. Stop going outside for treatment. Build hospitals so you can go there and treat yourself. Think about others, your citizens, as you think about yourself. Treat others as yourself. That's all I want to add to this. I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, something it just came out and I've said it. It's enough. Enough is enough. The corruption is enough. Stop taking from those who do not have, from the vulnerable. Stop taking from them. Anyway, my families, my VIPs, my kids and queen, my returning families, those of you super chatting me, thank you. God bless you all. I truly appreciate each and every one. Every money you have given me, I promise it will go for a good cause. Thank you so, so much. Thank you for doing that. That alone, the motivations, your time, it means a lot to me. Thank you. God bless you all. And I will see you soon. Credit to our TV News, Sahel Info, and all the medias over there sharing their news with us. Thank you. God bless you. I will see you soon, my families. Have a wonderful day and stay blessed. Bye-bye.